Trailcam Dan, what did he see? A beaver, a badger, a fox or a bee? Trailcam Dan, what did he see? A beaver, a badger, a fox or a bee? For this one, we have got our Campark TC06 pointing down at today's experiment. Now, bees have lived in here, but they don't anymore because the badgers came along and ate them all. I've got that on camera. And then we have put bananas down here and then just lots of mixed fruit, and the badgers have loved it. So they do like to come here for a little feast now and again. And pause. Right, I wasn't going to throw this in at this video at all. This is about the tuna and sardines experiment. But because I mentioned the badgers having a feast there, I thought this would be a good place to throw this footage in. I was thinking of putting it on a separate video, but there isn't enough footage. I think I've got 3 minutes here. I'm going to start playing it now and just explain. So I am doing a voiceover here, and it is raining outside, so you're going to get background noise, I'm afraid, so I won't talk for too long. But this badger turned up. Now this is where we know there was a bee's nest, in this hole down here, and the badger seems to have just found it. He's picking away at a few flies, a few of the bees there on the floor, that's my guess. But then he starts digging in a moment, and then there's 3 of these badgers. I'm guessing it's 2 brothers, 1 sister, or 2 sisters, 1 brother, or 3 brothers or 3 sisters. I don't know. But I'm just going to leave you to enjoy this. There's about 2 more minutes of this. But just see what he does and what happens when the others turn up. This is incredible. That is the best footage I have caught of the 3 badgers together. I'm guessing the siblings. I don't know if it's 3 girls, 3 boys, a mixture. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure the siblings, they've been hanging around together all this season, all this summer. But yeah, just thought I'd share that with you. Right, let's get back to the experiment. Let's get back to talking about, do animals in the woods eat tuna and mackerel, or one or none? So, I'm trying something different because we have also had in this exact same spot just here a buzzard, a huge buzzard. That's a kind of hawk to you guys in America. What you call a buzzard and we call a buzzard are completely different things, apparently. So, I'm doing a fish experiment. Do animals prefer tuna or sardines? I'm hoping we're going to get some kind of bird come down to take the sardines. This is going to be interesting. Will the badgers like fish? Will the deer like fish? Will the fox come over and have fish? Will rats come and eat the fish? We don't know. It's an experiment, so we're going to open these cans, keep them a distance apart, and see what happens. What shall we say, 2 or 3 days. We're not going to come back to the woods, we're going to leave it and see what happens. So let's start with the tuna, which is a shame because this is out of my cupboard. I love tuna, absolutely adore the stuff. So I'd like this myself. Now this is tuna in, I think it's spring water, even better. So it is going to be the smell of the tuna which is going to attract them, not the liquid it is in. Making sure I don't touch any of this. Very important, you don't want your scent on any of the food, because that will scare the animals off. So there is a nice pile of tuna. Moving on to the sardines. Now, I might be sick just opening these because I think they are absolutely disgusting. These are just in a sunflower oil, they're not in a tomato sauce. Oh my god, look at that. Oh my god. You'd have to be an animal to eat that. Okay, let's just get them out there. So there's 8 nicely sized pieces of sardine there. I'm really hoping the buzzard will come and get that, but who knows, who knows. How these birds know there's things down here through this thick trees, I don't know. Can they see it? Can they smell it? It's just incredible how an animal which is like 1/100th of the size of a human has so much better senses than we do. Don't you think? So, the trail camera is on. The tuna is out, the sardines are out. We will come back 2 or 3 days. I didn't touch the sardines, but just touching the can, I can smell it on my fingers and I feel sick. It's disgusting stuff. We will come back in 2 or 3 days and see what the animals in the woods prefer, if any. They might not even touch it. Let's see if there's any activity before we go. I put this out a good hour and a half ago now, and I'll tell you what, the tuna is surrounded in blue bottles, in flies. Don't know if you could see them then all flying off. Not many on the sardines, but tuna, they loved it. So we've learnt one thing today, haven't we? Flies prefer tuna to sardines. There you go. So you're ever planning on becoming a fisherman, I'd suggest becoming a sardine fisherman. You'll have less flies. Right. We'll check back on that in a few days' time. So we are back in the woods, me and Mrs. Camdan. Mazzy. Looking to see if the animals prefer sardines or tuna or none.
Yeah.
It's not looking good, is it?
I'm glad it don't smell.
None?
None.
Right, let me have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, there's 7 pieces of sardines, and I'm sure there was 8 when I put it there. So 1 might have gone. The tuna, I don't know if there's less of that or it's just not. Let me check the camera, see if anything has been here. This is where we've had so much activity, I'm in shock that there's any of this left. We have only got 4 images, and I think 3 of them are me. This isn't going well at all. But the 1 image is the badger. So the badger has been in this wood. I think what he's doing, I don't know if you realise this, badgers have 800 times better sense of smell than a human. So it might be that the badger has come over here, smelt this, but he can smell something a bit further afield, because I've got a couple of experiments out. Maybe he's thought, smells alright, but I'm going to go over there because it smells better. But we're going to leave it there. It doesn't look off, it still looks edible, but I'm hoping some kind of big bird is going to come down and eat this. So I'm not giving up. I will put the camera back on and we will come and pick this up tomorrow or the day after. So after 72 hours in the woods, we are back just to check. We checked yesterday, we're going to check again today on the tuna and sardines. Let's have a look. So the tuna doesn't look very touched. The sardines have definitely been touched now. There was 8 of them. I'm now counting 4.5. I think there was 7 yesterday. So something has been here overnight. Hopefully this has caught it. I think I'm seeing a magpie and a mouse. Mainly a magpie. Or 2 magpies. So, we're still going to leave it at least another day, maybe 2. And then we'll come back and we'll call the experiment it. Anything left, probably just throw down the hole. So it started with the badger, as I said earlier. He sniffed the tuna, he sniffed a fly, and he walked off. That was it. That was the last we saw of the badger over 4 days. And then a little mouse goes past. Doesn't seem interested whatsoever in the fish. But then the magpie comes. Now look at the size of his tail. What a beautiful magpie. I do love magpies. I do salute magpies every time I see them. It's like a superstitious thing. He has a nibble at the tuna there. But he's a bit cautious. He keeps taking bits and then flying off screen as if he knows. Then he comes back for the sardine. Is it sardines? Yes, sardines. Takes it off camera and eats it there. Comes back. Has a little peck. Grabs a big piece. And he's off. Comes back. Grabs a huge full sardine. And he's off. And he just keeps doing this over the few days. He's loving it. But he refuses to eat on camera. They're very, very, very intelligent animals. All magpies, crows, rooks. Very, very intelligent animals. And he was obviously very cautious. He was thinking there's something not right here. A big pile of fish in the middle of the woods. I'm not going to eat it where the pile is. I'm going to take it to one side. And just be cautious, just in case there's a net or someone's planning on shooting me or eating me. So that is pretty much all we got. All that mackerel, sardines, sorry, all 8 pieces. It was all getting eaten by the magpie. I'll just leave you to enjoy the last few seconds of this now. And then we'll do a little roundup. So there you have it. As you can see from that badger footage earlier on, before I started the experiment, you'd have thought they'd have been back the next night, and they never came back the next night. Or the next... Well, they did. One came back just for a second, but for 3-4 nights, they really weren't that interested in the fish. So, we will leave it there. Obviously, the magpies loved the fish. In particular, the sardines. I keep saying mackerel. Sardines. Plenty more food experiments to come, so join us for the next one. Thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe, leave a comment, click the like button, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye. Trailcam Dan, what did he see? A beaver, a badger, a fox or a bee? Trailcam Dan, what did he see? A beaver, a badger, a fox or a bee?